Keep going in there.
He's not a big fat fuck like the rest of people his age.
That's right. That's right, he's not.
I applaud you for that, sir.
He applauds you for being healthy. Your next comic coming to the stage, you guys. Again, I know I've been saying this all night, but it's true. You're in for a real treat. Please put your hands together for Rose Nicole.
Oh shit, that's going to be on the internet. Don't let your wife see it. So, what it takes to actually get canceled on the Y. They have a 3-fight minimum. You're not going to get canceled until you've at least been in 3 fights. They don't like it if you bring your own wine box, though, so try not to do that. I have a lot of political things to say. I took a hiatus from comedy, but it wasn't. This time it was because my dog was injured. It had nothing to do with my set bombing. But the last time I did have a really good set that bombed, I sent a copy to President Biden in full American spirit with a request for $7 billion. And he responded that if I send him 2 proofs of residency from a Ukrainian address, he would cut me a check. Crickets. We have a lot of issues in this country right now with people that have problems with, civil rights, social equity, class equality, and even science. The CDC is basically cunts don't care right now. It's getting to the point where we might just want to wipe the labels off of cleaning products and kind of let society weed itself out, because clearly the Great Reset didn't work. If you guys don't know what the Great Reset is, you'll have to go listen to some 80s hip-hop to figure that one out. But we have a government that doesn't really know how to regulate correctly. They should be regulating environmental things, but instead they want to regulate eggs. They regulate your eggnog and your Cadbury eggs. Now they're regulating women's eggs. You better be careful, because they're coming for your breakfast next. They're not going to tolerate these chicken abortions much longer.
That's right.
And I actually look like someone from the Supreme Court. I look like Amy Coney Barrett. Worst doppelganger ever. When I'm cute and crazy, it's endearing. But when she's cute and crazy, it's God-fearing. And it's not just a problem with the Republican Party, because the Democratic Party has become the enablers of Republican policy. And their solution to everything is to vote harder. The fuck does it mean to vote harder? Should I scrunch my face while I read the ballot? Should I hold the pen so tight that my fingers turn white? Should I take the ballot outside during a rainstorm and fill it out in the wind? Like, what the fuck is vote harder? I'm starting to think that the demo in democracy stands for demolition.
That's right.
And now I'm ready to move on to some dick jokes, where I think about a dick and then joke about him to you guys. I obviously have a lot of trouble dating. I actually became a comedian because I thought maybe if I showed I was funny, then I could get some dates that way. Clearly that's not working. When I want to go to the drive-in movies, I have to take my brother. I actually tried dating a comedian before I started doing comedy, and he's also a surfer, but it didn't work out because he has no sense of humor. So I finally had to tell him, if you don't like my jokes, you ain't my folks. So after we went no contact, I started surfing myself. Not because I thought it would win him back, but because if you can't have a man take his sport and his job. A lot of people when they get married, they like to say, oh, I met the one and they felt like home. The only time that I ever felt like home, it turned out to be a halfway house. Speaking of halfway houses, I tried to date a cop in 2020. I met him at a Black Lives Matter protest. And it was going really well. I couldn't believe how open-minded he was. He would sit with me and watch all the videos on how to reform the police and all the videos on why to defund the police, and I couldn't believe how open-minded he was until one night he heard the phrase, ACAB, all cops are bastards. And he looked at me and he said, all cops are smarter. And I looked at him and I said, if that were true, you would have said all cops are brainy. And he left me. I have such trouble that I've had such trouble dating that I've actually switched religions. I'm now an agnostic tantric Buddhist. I'm an agnostic tantric Buddhist. That's my new religion. And that basically just means that I think my imagination is better than the real thing. I did have a partner for a short time at the end of 2021. 2021 was a while back, if you haven't noticed. But we only hooked up twice because, as it turns out, my imagination is better than the real thing. About a year in, I switched hands. And now that you know I'm a Buddhist, do you want to see my face?
Yeah.
Well, you just did. And I wasn't really expecting to have 8 or 9 minutes, but
Yell at Corey. Enjoy it.
Corey, I need my heckler. I need material. I started doing comedy when I was 40 because by the time you're my age, you laugh at all your own jokes and you don't care if the audience laughs. So I basically waited till I was a narcissist. I actually used to tell all my jokes during karaoke songs for years, and then in 2020, while we were all locked down, I couldn't do karaoke, so I started going on YouTube and watching comedians do their live streams on YouTube. And when you do that, they have a little chat box, and you can type in the chat box. And I started noticing that the comedians would read my comments. I mean, I guess they don't write their own jokes, they gotta read the comments in their chat box, but they would read my comments, and they did it so frequently that I started thinking, I've got these comedians reading my jokes, maybe I should get on stage and start doing this. So I thought, oh, this is great, I'm gonna be a comedian's comedian. But as it turns out, I'm really just a great heckler. And not just because I really won't shut up, which is why I sit in the back row with a mask on, but also because there was one comedian, and he's actually very staunch about reforming the police and, you know, defunding the police depending on the sins of the station, and he's very against cop calling for unnecessary reasons, but I heckled him so hard that he threatened to call the cops on me. And so, yeah, that's my story of how I started doing comedy. I have some other jokes, but I don't know if I can remember them. So, hasn't it been 8 or 9 minutes yet? It's been 8 minutes, so I think it's okay for us to bring Danny up. And I won't tell his wife where he touched me.
Rose Nicole, everybody, Rose Nicole. It's funny that you said that because my definition of a great heckler is someone who does put their mask on and keep their thoughts to themselves. All right, you guys, your next comment coming to the stage. Again, it is